Welcome to Arlena's Corner. In today's video, I'm going to be making some Caribbean cheese paste. I remember the first time that I had Caribbean cheese paste. It was in the mid 90s when myself and the other Domino team members won a trip to Barbados. And I remember during lunchtime, each day, they would serve us these little sandwiches with some nice, decadent, and delicious, rich and creamy cheese paste between it. They would serve them on some nice white sliced bread, and they would cut the crust off. And of course, they would cut them in triangles. And boy, we looked forward to having those every day during lunchtime. We had never tasted it before, and it was definitely a pleasure. Now, the second time I had cheese paste sandwiches was in 2011, back home at this point in St. Martin, when I attended a Dominican Association event. And of course, they had cheese paste sandwiches as part of the spread. And I remember as I had a few of them, it was so rich and so creamy. And it reminded me of the mid 90s when I first ate the Caribbean cheese paste back in Barbados. Kind of reminded me of that trip back in Barbados in the early or the mid 90s, actually. And of course, I decided last year, I'm like, somebody has to have a recipe for this cheese paste. I did find one and I did make it. It was okay. But then just the other day, one just popped up in front of me and I'm like, that's exactly what I'm going to have this Friday. Some Caribbean cheese paste sandwiches. So I found this recipe from Eat Food, and of course I added some extras to make it my own. And it is so delicious. It reminds me of the mid 90s when I spent that week in Barbados when we won that Domino Tournament Championship. And we won one whole week, fully paid vacation to Barbados. Yes. So this Friday, I decided I wasn't going to do anything too heavy. Last week, Friday, I made homemade pizza. The week before, I also made homemade pizza. And that was some work. So I decided I wanted to have something a little lighter this weekend. So I decided I'm going to have some Caribbean cheese paste sandwiches. But in order for me to have the Caribbean cheese paste sandwich, I got to make the Caribbean cheese paste. So that's exactly what I decided to do. So I decided to make a small batch of Caribbean cheese paste for myself because it's just me. And it tastes delicious. Delicious, delicious, delicious. It takes me back in time. I've also decided at one point I'm going to try this cheese paste on some baked Johnny cakes and some fried Johnny cakes. Now, I don't make fried Johnny cakes too often because they ain't the healthiest, but they are delicious. And at this age, yeah, we can't be having too much fried stuff. But I do love a good baked Johnny cake. And normally, I like my baked Johnny cake hot out of the oven with nothing but some butter. Like we say back home. Not butter, but butter. Yes. But I'm going to try it one day with the Caribbean cheese paste, hot out of the oven. and see what that says. Well, this Friday night, I wanted to make some cheese paste sandwiches. But in order for me to make the cheese paste sandwiches, I had to make some cheese paste. So here I am making me some cheese paste. And I decided I wanted to have it grilled. So I wanted a grilled Caribbean cheese paste sandwich with some sliced cracked pepper turkey. And it was so delicious. Oh my goodness. It was so delicious. It was like Barbados plus 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 because this time it was grilled. So it was really delicious and it kind of took me right back to the Caribbean. Yes. Sometimes you just go back to those childhood or young days, young girls' memories of being in the Caribbean.